Yes,
because obviously,
well, yeah, and two of them were near together. St Pancras and King's Cross were only across the road from one. We're ready. Okay, it is just after 7, so can we make a start? And can I welcome you to the July meeting of the Finance, Employment and Services Committee? Are there any apologies? I think there's Andy's and Brian's, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't be any others because there's 5 of us here, so. Are there any declarations of interest? No. Item 4, the minutes of the last meeting. Would anyone like to move them, or are there any comments or corrections on them first? Seconded. Those in favour? Thank you. Public forum, there are no members of the public here. Item 6, financial update, and as normal, there's A, B and C. You can either take them all together or separate, whichever you wish.
Has anyone got any questions? No?
there was a point raised at the full council about them utilities. Has that anything been settled about that? About that very high bill?
Oh, yeah, we're still on with that.
We're still on,
Yeah.
I mean, estimated.
It wasn't estimated, it was an actual reading. Oh, but are we talking about the?
Wrong with the bill. I mean, I wouldn't.
It was too high. Yeah, basically we've used the equivalent of a quarter of a Olympic swimming pool's worth of water on the Basil Street allotment site. I think there's been a leak, yeah. So yeah, because they're saying it was the correct reading, they're saying, well, you've just used too much water, basically. So we're trying to, yeah, follow it up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
All right. There is there's like a line of tarmac down the side, sort of where the pipe would be, which to me looks like quite fresh tarmac, so which suggests that they have done work in the area.
But if it's our side of the meter,
It's our responsibility. It's our side of the meter.
which it must be to give a high read.
Well, yeah,
I'm assuming it's metered.
It's the actual reading on the meter, so it is.
Although I do know of meters that have been wrong because we had one at work that was just not reading right.
Well, yeah, it's either a faulty meter or there's been a leak somewhere because there's no way we can use that much water on a lot of the site. It's just never going to happen.
Well, for it to show on meter, assuming the meter is still reading correct, for it to show up meter, the leak would have to be on our side of the meter, wouldn't it? So there'd be a lot of water somewhere.
Show my ignorance. Does each plot have a separate supplier? Is it a common supplier?
No, it's just a common tap that they all use.
So somebody could, well, no.
Someone could, but it's a lot.
It's a lot to leave it on that nobody's to notice.
Yeah. I mean, we did have a time when kids were going on and just leaving the tap on. But you'd think that basically it would cause a lot of damage and a lot of water loss. Yeah. So, or either someone's gone on and used it for something else. But yeah, we're not sure. But we're going down the. We think work's been done, moved because of the tarmac that's on there. So. Yeah, it's the monitoring that we have to do. I think you just turned it on. Yeah.
Statutory duty to if you've got standing water anywhere, you've got a
Statutory responsibilities.
to monitor it,
Yeah.
Yes.
test it, and make sure that it's not harbouring things. Turn the furthest tap on every week.
Mhm.
When they use water on allotments, might be a daft question this. Do they usually use a watering can? Or do they put a hose on it and leave it on for hours?
I'm not sure without watching them.
Because if you use a watering can, I know it's difficult with an allotment, but if you use a watering can, you use a lot less water than you do having a hose pipe on for half an hour, don't you? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At least they get accepted, I know.
Well, yeah.
But
Yeah.
in the tours we've done, I can't remember seeing hose pipes left on taps of all the
No.
allotments that we went round.
No.
No.
So I mean, historically, the bills are about £14 every quarter. So there's obviously something that's gone on.
And how much were it?
640 quid.
So it's 40 times it.
Yeah.
It's a lot, isn't it? I mean, it looks to me as though to run that amount of water off, you'd have to leave it on not an hour or two, you'd have to leave it on all week. Well, somebody would go into allotment
And then notice.
and notice it were on and turn it off, wouldn't they? You'd think so.
And there'd be resulting damage if it was just left on for a week.
Have they responded back to us yet?
You haven't had any other emails, have you?
Leah was going to get me a picture with the
Oh,
tap
she
itself,
wasn't she? Yeah.
with the
With
moving bit of
tarmac. Yeah.
tarmac, then I could chuck it back to them.
Right, yeah.
But just for the record, Leah did tell me that when you turn that tap on, it's a steady trickle rather than a deluge. So
Yeah.
it probably have to be on for weeks.
Yeah.
Are we monitoring it?
Sorry?
Are we monitoring the usage? How much water we use since?
Yeah, it's gone back to
Yeah,
normal.
Leah's been twice since, and it's back to the sort of eight to £12 a bill sort of figure.
Who's tarmac? Do we know?
No, that's the thing. I'm presuming. I don't know.
Have United Utilities put a new meter in and a new part to it, and that's why it's been tarmacked, and they haven't took the readings correctly off the old to new meter?
I think it's the same meter.
Same meter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Pictures that Leah had the
Right.
actual meter on it, the reference number for the meter, and it's not changed.
Have they read it right?
Yeah, because
Have we
we read
checked
it.
numbers?
We checked it, yeah. That's right. So that's why they've come back and said you've just used too much water. Because it's an actual reading. But obviously something has gone on. They read it first, so we went and read it ourselves to check it, and it was right.
Strange, isn't it? Because this summer hasn't been particularly dry. Last summer was a lot drier, and it's way higher than that. It don't make sense, does it?
Well,
And if there's something wrong with meter, there's nothing to say it won't happen again. If it's an intermittent error on it, it might throw another wobbler, mightn't it, later?
But we can't pass obviously that charge onto the allotment holders because it's just far in excess of what they would use. So
Did discuss asking them for their input, saying basically
well, we did.
you will not be
said that-
charged, but have you noticed a large amount of water or the taps been left on for? See what they said.
So Leo was going to send an email out. Actually.
See, if there were a leak underground on our side and it hasn't been repaired, it wouldn't have gone back right. Now it'd have still been reading out.
Oh
It'd
yeah,
still be
exactly.
leaking.
So it's
Water
gone.
fixed itself.
But that's what I think that tarmac was.
Well, I think, I don't know.
it looks like it's been repaired, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pressed on.
Is there a lot of tarmac?
It's just goes in like a line down there. Not a lot. It's just like a patch.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. We don't want to be paying £600 if we can help it.
Well, no. I mean, if it is a leak, I think you can claim it back, but it's whether we can get anywhere with it.
I were wondering whether somebody had been doing some work down there, i.e. that's why the tarmac's there and they've been they tapped into our water supply to do it.
Fresh.
No, so it wouldn't leak so fast anyway, would it? You know,
They've done it, I didn't leave it for 3 months.
yeah. And somebody had noticed it
Good thought.
and it wouldn't have stopped leaking on its own. We could ask for the meter checking to confirm it's reading right.
There could be lots of possibilities, like bills before have been estimated or something, and
It could be.
they've caught it up, or they've input a different. They've input meter A in meter B and vice versa. So someone's got a bill that's
£14.
six. Yeah, instead
Instead
of
of
600.
600.
Oh, blimey, wow. We don't know. I think we just need to keep asking them
Yeah.
to check that it's not. That there isn't somebody else who thinks, well, you're not. Well, we're going to be very popular with someone, aren't we? If it is that.
I know it sounds daft and you will have checked it, but the current reading that they've come up with coincides with the reading we've taken, so that's right. Is the reading where the start of this quarter is the same as the end of the previous quarter? Has that been checked one off against other?
I'm not sure actually.
What Howard said was actually what happened. The previous 6 bills were all estimated. So it could have been leaking for a while. But what I did was I looked at the 2 actuals before that period and we'd use like 14 litre cubed or whatever it is. We'd use like 14 litre cubed. And in this new period, we'd use 285. So
Yeah.
there's something's not stacking up.
I mean, we once had that with an electric bill, didn't we? Where they charged us for a quarter and the actual reading at end of quarter were correct, but they hadn't carried it forward from the quarter before. They'd got that reading wrong from the previous bill.
Can double check that.
Whatever we can do to get it corrected with no great cost to us is the way out of it, isn't it?
There are that's
All 3 of them, yeah. Was that seconded? Those in favour? Thank you. Audit update, item 7.
Yeah, this is just to say that we have sent all the stuff to the external auditor within the deadline, of course. Just so we're currently in a queue. See, the thing is, I normally get a response back, like you know when you send an email and you get a generic response. I didn't get one this time, so I had to ring them up just to double check that they got it, but they had. Said I don't know why you didn't get the email, but yes, she said I can see it in the queue. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, no, I rang them up.
Do they come in to do that or not? Or do
No.
they- No. Right.
They check the website, make sure that everything's on it that needs to be with regards to the accounts and things, like the period of exercise, the public rights, things like that.
So if they contact us while you were on holiday, it won't matter, Steve will be able to.
Yeah.
So, right. Yeah, that's okay then. So is that just for noting?
Yep.
Yeah. So can we note that? Yeah. Item 8, local government pay offer 2024.
Right. So there's a couple of reasons for bringing this here. Mainly, there's always a big delay in the unions actually agreeing the pay award, and given that they've made the full and final offer, it usually works out that that is the offer that is made or agreed eventually. So to save time, I'm saying that if it is this particular offer that is on the table that we pre-agree it, then I don't need to bring it to another meeting then. Another reason is I noticed when reading through the briefing that the current they were actually rejecting because the unions wanted an extra day's holiday, so they were rejecting that, saying, well, our members already have this, and we don't actually work on that. I think it was they got 23 days plus an extra 2 statutory days plus bank holidays. Now we just work on an extra 1 statutory day. Now I think that's probably because when we agreed to follow that, it was after the first extra day had already been given. That's the only reason I can think of that why we don't get that. And the other thing was for the extra 3 days after 5 years service. So we don't currently have that either. So that was basically to try and get us in line with the National Joint Councils and local government workers. So I don't know if you've had a chance to read through it. Can I ask that we all use our microphones? Sorry, it's just yeah.
So I'd like to propose that we accept.
Anyone else?
Surely we're only saying we'll implement it once it's.
Well, if you read the report,
I don't think it'll matter anyway because it's backdated.
it gets backdated to the 1st of April anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm saying for the holiday side of it to implement it now, basically, and then once the pay is agreed, then rather than me having to bring it back to another meeting that you've already pre-agreed it anyway, and we just put it through.
It happened last year. We didn't get to know until about November, and then we'd to do a load of transferring money about, haven't we? Because the back bay came to quite a bit, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
And
It caused problems.
it's a bit of a nuisance when it's the pay offer is payable from the 1st of April, and yet in July they're still arguing about it because all that time we're getting in arrears, which means there's a lot of money to find all at once. Then it's a nuisance.
They've done it every year, haven't they?
I remember last year it was quite a hefty sum that we had to pay back to all our staff.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they should be negotiating with the unions now
Yeah, for next.
the money for next April, so that on 1st of April, when it comes in, it can be started.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It ends up being stupid. Because it also then throws a spanner in works with some people's tax and national insurance because it takes them over threshold. And it throws a
Pensions.
wobble because they've a lot of money all at once.
yeah, but
It threw the pensions out last time, so we had to make
And it
manual
doesn't even itself up because it alters. You end up going over the limit for pensions. And you don't get allocated pension on the lump sum when you get it. Whereas if it had been spread over the year, you'd get pension allowance on it. It's just balmy.
But there's nothing we can do about
No,
it.
there is.
So
They're in, but it is a nuisance.
So we've had a proposer.
yeah, no, that's
Get those in favour. Okay. Small grant applications.
Yep, so there's just one to bring to this meeting from the Alkincoats Woodland Nature Reserve. So they have various different projects for their wetlands. So it's various different things. They put them into different compartments. So I don't know, there was a map, I don't know, did you? I'm not sure if I sent the map out.
yeah, you
Did
did.
I? Yeah. Yeah, so it's just various different things they want to do with different areas.
I think it also lets them divert water about outside.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So they're blocking some land drains and creating more trenches to divert the water.
But it doesn't say how much they want.
3,000 something.
Yeah. The total project cost £3,372.
Would they, if we do agree this, would this, some of this come out of the nature reserve grants funding?
It all will.
It will all come out of that, yeah.
But the reason I said that was I thought they only wanted 50%, not the full.
Oh, right, no, because they, like I said in the report, they are intending to match fund with volunteer time.
Oh, let me see, it's not on the form. I'll move, we give them the money.
Second that.
Those in favour? Thank you. That's agreed. We're on now outdoor exercise equipment.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Actually.
Outdoor exercise equipment. I think there's probably only 3 of us still here now that can remember how we acquired that.
It was free.
It was free when we got we did a capital program upgrade on the play areas, And the contractor who won the bid actually threw that in as a free extra to go along with it. But where it was in the wrong place, weren't it, basically?
It was,
And
yeah.
it kept getting damaged and causing all sorts of trouble. And it's currently taking up space that we really need in cellar.
It's in the town hall. A lot of it is damaged. So it's just really what you want us to do with it. I didn't want to make that decision. So,
What,
Clever.
what would it cost to bring it back into use
quite a lot, I would have
and
thought.
site it somewhere more suitable?
I think it would be quite a lot to do. Because in some cases things have been snapped.
Right.
Rather than just, your general wear and tear.
Can't remember the name of the people that did the painting.
Preludic.
Oh, that was their name. Well, I saw that name then, but it didn't ring any bell.
Yeah.
We maybe ask them if it's any good to them for spares on something and let them have it back. If not,
We could always weigh it in.
weigh it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
What exactly is it? What are we talking?
It's one of them step machine. There were three bits, and one of them was
That one in Crosswell, because
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like a ski.
Yeah.
It's a bit like skiing, walking with skis, isn't it? Sort of
Yeah, and I can't remember what the other.
it's all pretty dated.
Hmm?
It's all pretty dated, is it? Old stuff.
Well, it's what 4.5 years old, but we don't know how old it was when it
When
may,
it went in.
it may not have been. They may have had a lot of stuff
They may have done.
that they were giving.
Probably why they offered it for free.
If we've no use for it, it needs to go and get the space back in.
Yeah.
In cellar, doesn't it? But if it could be used, it seems a shame to dump it, doesn't it?
I think we go back to
Have the rugby club still
Preludic.
got some on that piece of land they have behind the rugby?
there is well.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
think I don't think there
I
is.
think the stuff that they've got is more these things where they get half a dozen of them behind the thing and charge it at and
They did have some on that
No, they
grass
did,
area.
yeah.
yeah, but whether we'll ask them if
I was
it's,
wondering if we could, if they're already doing rugby training and stuff, it might be useful to them. I don't know. We could ask them if they
Ask them
wanted
if
it or
they-
something. I don't know, rather than bin it.
but it's as seen.
I mean, we won't just bin it. We'd weigh it in. At least we get some money from it.
There are probably bits on it that would be useful if the rugby club have got equipment.
When I've been going past on my bike, I've seen him, but I haven't been past for a while. I don't know. We could ask.
We can ask them,
We
can't we?
ask them if it's no good to them. We ask the
Preludic.
people that gave it to us, and if it's no good to them,
We weigh
we-
it.
put it in the van. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need a proposer and a seconder for that?
I'll move it.
I'll second. Those in favour? Thank you. Town hall maintenance.
Well, I don't actually think there's much to update on. We hired a cherry picker to look at. We were getting a bit of overspill of water at one side, which we think we've fixed now. Other than that, we haven't really had any issues. Touch wood.
Can I just raise one? That's a minor.
2 minutes slow. The clock. Is that what you're
No,
gonna
nothing to
Okay.
do. No, I give up to that. I mean, it comes hot and it runs slow and it goes cold, and
No.
we need another pocket full of pennies. No, just the access up the ramp
Ramp.
is looking quite nice with grass growing through it, and also all the dead stuff that's outside when they sprayed it. If just somebody can, it just looks untidy, and I think,
You mean underwear scaffolding is?
well, this
Yeah.
stuff under there, and up, I think we should just set an example of,
Chair, on the ramp, when it's wet, my sticks, Dorothy's stick, will probably slip. It could be, if it can be treated with non-stick. I don't know where you get it from, but it can be, ramps can be treated for to prevent slipping. I don't know.
Have a
I
look
don't know how much
into
it's
it.
going to cost us, but it can be.
We can have a look into it.
Thank you.
you can get non-slip colour. Well, yeah.
Is it just something that you spray it with?
No, you sort of paint it on. I mean, you might spray it on, but it just
Yeah.
makes it, like Teflon. It's like Teflon, only you can see through it.
Right, yeah. We'll have a look.
Well, if it's gonna be coated in something like that that's transparent, I think it wants power washing first, else it'll.
Oh yeah, it needs.
Yeah,
It needs.
Yeah. It won't go amiss to have a power washing session on it, would it? And then it's clean and then you'll seal it. Might even stick better.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
probably says all that on the tin.
It will do.
If it comes.
Follow the instructions.
Is there any other town hall maintenance matters?
Not that I know of. Does anyone else want to bring anything up?
I've just noticed you've got a double glazing unit blown on there.
Yes, it has. Okay, can look at that as well.
We'll notice it more now because it's been sunny. I think
Yeah,
the one above it,
when it's cold, they go back clear. It's when it's been sunny.
I think the one above it's the same.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Just now I'm looking at it again. You've got a better.
Yeah, I've got a better view of both of them.
Yeah.
And the one nearest the chair as well, on this other side. And just obviously I can just see it because with the top lamppost behind it.
It happens a lot with south-facing ones. It does it on ours at home. It only does them on one side of the house, doesn't it? North-facing, it doesn't do it. It never does do it.
Well, knocking them to help.
No, but it's difference between winter and summer
Yeah,
as well.
But
Yeah.
they go on doors.
Yeah. Right. So we'll note the town hall maintenance. Item 12, items for a future month's agenda. Apart from what we mentioned last month, which I don't think there is much anything special or extra or anything to add on, is there? Oh, that one.
The man say it's beyond repair, or
Which?
That clock there.
that clock that's not worked for about 4 years.
I'm not sure what he
Otherwise,
said
there's a
about
clock
it.
in this room. So
So what are you suggesting? We have it fixed?
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it may be that it's beyond its.
Well, that can be an extra item then. We can get the price to have it fixed and bring it back.
yeah. It may be. Well, jump off that bridge when we come.
Maybe it wants winding.
It's probably just
Well,
winding up.
it turned into a battery one.
Right. The date and time of the next regular meeting is on Tuesday, the 6th of August. And I am told that Steve will be in charge.
Well, I give my apologies. I
I'll
give
be
my
on
apologies
annual
as
leave.
well, so
Yeah, well, it'll be down to 4 of us, because as far as I'm aware, the other 2 won't be here. That's got their apologies tonight as well. So,
Oh, Andy Belleville.
I have a feeling so, yes. As long as there's more than 3 of us, we're all right. As long as we're quorate, we can do whatever is needed, can't we? There is an extra item which you've all been told about. Doesn't need to be a private item, does it?
I don't think so. No.
Uh, just to start off, you all know that we had problems a week ago with travellers in the park. And the only way to keep them out in future, or attempt to keep them out, is to take some measures, i.e. putting a barrier up to keep them out with hire vehicles, which is where this item's come from, and I'll let Gina carry on from there.
Yeah, so it is our intention to erect a height barrier at the entrance of the park. So the map that I sent out with the blue line actually shows you where we're intending on putting it. I may have a copy. I can find it.
It's just above the lodge, isn't it? In fact, it's opposite the first of the parking spaces on the car park.
if the drawing's on scale, it's less.
Hmm?
If the drawing's to scale, it covers about. Sorry.
Yeah, so we've asked for a barrier that basically, because of how wide it is, it will have 2 arms that meet in the middle. It will also have a lockbox on the top. And obviously there will be people who need to get in with bigger vehicles, i.e. deliveries to the pavilion, etc. Pendle when they're cutting the grass and that kind of thing. So anyone who needs a key will get a key. But it's just, we kind of think we're also looking at maybe getting extra CCTV in the park as well. But we're just waiting for quotes to come back for that. But if we just think it'll be more of a deterrent, because basically, I mean, if they come during the day, if they can't easily get in, they're going to have to spend more time trying to get in, more likely to be caught doing it. The only way they will be able to get in once the barrier is up is to cause criminal damage, which means that basically you have a reason to kick them out. So it's, and if we get it on CCTV, then we have the proof of the criminal damage. So that's our intention going forward. There are quite a lot of groups out at the moment. I know there's another group just landed in Burnley, Thompson Way, I think. So really, we need to be looking at this as soon as possible. We did get, well, we've asked 3 companies to quote. One of the quotes has come in. That was included fitting. That was £4,800. But we have found out that I think the cost of the actual barrier is around 1,600. So we have spoken to the lensman, Mark and Gareth. I think it's something that they can do is install it themselves. We just hire equipment in. It's going to be cheaper than it'll still save us money basically than getting someone else to do it. So the idea is to order the actual barrier. So it has to be galvanized, powder coated. So obviously it'll take a while for that, but we need to get the ball rolling as soon as possible, really. So the idea is just to get the barrier and have the lensman fitted when it's ready.
Only one question. Presumably we're powder coating it yellow rather than that horrible corporate colour.
It's going to be black.
Black.
Yes. We didn't want a big yellow barrier
Yeah.
in front of someone's house, basically.
Especially a listed house.
So it will be black.
I would check regulations in case it should be. I don't know. I don't frequent that area at the depth of night.
I can get what Howard's saying. If it were black and someone ran into it in dark and ripped the roof off,
Right.
because there's no street lights above it until past the play area. So they're in a dark area. And if they didn't see it because it was black and it's pitch black night and they ripped the van roof off.
I think we just need to check.
But then you wonder what they're doing there with the large vehicle late at night when it's pitch black.
Well, they could use the excuse my sat nav had sent me up wrong street, couldn't they? There's 1,001 reasons to come.
Deliver it to Mrs.
Yeah.
We're talking about the height.
Yeah,
Yes.
that has arms that lock. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it'll be over 2 meters high, so a car can go
A
in,
car can get in.
and then they'll swing together and lock it middle, and then swing back out when somebody unlocks it to go through.
Yeah, so anyone with a bigger vehicle that needs to get in.
They got in the last time back.
The what? Sorry,
They got through a lot.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was only
they
a
did.
demountable bolt.
it was just a padlock.
In middle of.
Yeah, so
road.
they just basically
So
cut the padlock.
that damage. There's some talk about they won't touch the trail.
Yes.
So it can be done,
Yes,
even though there's pretty no damage.
yeah, we had no proof
No proof.
That's the camera.
because we haven't got a camera there at the moment,
If
which
somebody,
is why we're looking at putting CCTV in.
if we put the barrier there and they break the barrier and the CCTV there, we would have proof of them breaking it. We'd be able to see exactly with the proof who did it.
And there'd be no arguments about it's hooked up or unhooked up,
No, I think then you can, because
then that's.
they've broken the law, so they can be.
Sorry, going back to you'd probably get away with something that says, height limit,
Yeah,
like when you go in a car
on
park, it
the,
says
yeah,
height, and they're usually reflective. So
yes.
unless they're driving with no lights on,
Well, they shouldn't be driving with no
With no
lights in
light.
the dark.
Ah.
should they?
It could have on each off. It could have a warning triangle.
yes, yes, 2.2.
Your maximum height, whatever.
Yeah.
And just have a warning triangle.
But we just ought to check dot the I's and cross the T's, or
Yes.
else,
How can we find out if there is a legal requirement as to what colour it should be? Them who make them should know.
they would know, yeah.
They should do, shouldn't they?
Right, I've only got one actually. I'm just wondering if our friends from across the park there, who normally sit where Steve is tonight, will have an argument on this coming up against the Colne Neighbourhood Plan.
Well, it is a public park. It's the actual park. Well, it is in the plan as recreational ground, I think, but
Well, yeah.
I think it's a necessity.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't quibbled at one putting being done in their ward.
This is one in
Yeah,
There's one at Ball Grove.
Oh,
it had actually been, it was at one point towards the end of last year, not, had been left open. But that's probably just somebody.
That's something we're going to have to watch, is the opening of it as well. And I mentioned it to Gina this afternoon and Nathan. Is anyone who goes through it and unlocks it to go through, no matter how long they're going to be before they come back, they are going to have to get out of the vehicle and shut it again behind them. Because if they go to do a delivery up Bar and the 10 minutes, you could have 3 caravans coming in that time. They can't go away. And the same when they mow grass, they will have to lock it while they're mowing.
Yeah.
And they'll have to be told that and they'll have to stick to it.
A key will be given to the pavilion. Yeah.
And there are, well, there's more than 6, but I think there's only 6 properties will probably require a key. There's 6 houses. I would not, you know where they are. The ones at top, I've never seen them come down through Pop. They always go out through Red Lane because it's easier. Because as it is now, they'd have to unlock the other 2 barriers higher up.
I read the, what you call it, the land registry thing, and those at the top have only got rights over the. It doesn't mean anything because it's not on the plan, but there was a brown bit on the plan. But that's what they've got rights over. So
yeah, they use the top entrance from Red Lane.
Yeah.
They come in at Stag House, where we walk round all the way.
In fact, they probably can't get through anyway because there's a barrier that's.
Well, they did used to have keys for both them 2 kept barriers, the one there and the one lower down.
Well,
now I think out of courtesy we ought to tell them we're doing it.
Yes.
And if we ask, we'll have to have the discussion if they ask for a key, but if they don't and they're happy going out the top way, but the other 6 would have to have one because say they're getting something that's coming in a delivery van and it's a tall van, like some furniture or something, they may need to open the gate to let them in to get to their house, which I think is only reasonable. And obviously Pendle will need keys because 2 bin wagons on one week and 1 bin wagon on the other because of the green bin will have to go up there. And then there's the guy who mows the grass.
Yeah.
He needs to get in.
And in the contract, I suppose A&G will need a key.
Yeah.
And possibly Multiva.
Well,
Yeah.
there's time to that.
But keys are not a great expense, are they?
No. And anyway, if we were being, so that keys don't get lost or handed about, we could invest in a cabinet with a combination on it, so that if you're delivering, you ring up Mrs. How do I get in? There's a cabinet at the side, says keys, the combinations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Do that, and
do that.
they're all marked up. I mean, that's technicalities that can be sorted.
Yeah.
Important thing is get the.
You mean similar? Are you meaning something similar to having a key safe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's no good having a key because you'll be back to giving everybody.
Mm.
But the fewer that are floating around, there are less chances of them getting lost.
Yeah.
Oh, I give it. Tony's on holiday this week, so I can't mow grass.
Well, it won't be a problem to Pendle, would it?
No.
Because alt locks everywhere where they cut grass are all the same key.
Oh. Anyway.
Right, so do we approve getting this barrier, and are we going for the idea that to make it cheaper at end of day that the lensmen do install it?
As well as being cheaper, I would suspect that would be quicker.
Yeah.
Because we would be in a queue.
Probably.
Of people putting barriers up. I'm guessing that's guesswork, but
Well, it's the 2 bases are supposed to be dug into the ground and the sort of 2 foot square with 2 foot deep,
Yeah.
well, it's going to take a while to get that dug out and for concrete to set, because you can't start mounting anything as heavy as that barrier on concrete till it's set and gone off, can you?
So that's been doing, they're confident.
Yeah, we've spoken to them and
In fact, once you've ordered it, if we know exactly where the concrete bases want to be by drawing it out properly, I can't see any reason why, while we're waiting for the thing to be made and powder coated and get delivered to us, we could be letting them put, if weather were right, we could be letting them put the concrete bases in ready, and then we might save some time, mightn't we?
Right.
If we wait 2 weeks for it to come, and then a week to put bases in and dry, and then get it put up, time's going on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It might be as well, once it's ordered, if we find out exactly how far apart the 2 square bases need to be,
can at least dig the hole.
they can at least dig the holes, can't they?
Got it all prepped.
And fill it with concrete.
I'm guessing that some of the stuff will be sat in the concrete, though, won't it?
Well, it might be, you know.
Well, yeah.
Or, a concrete, and then once we get
Well,
the thing
we
off,
could dig the holes and have them covered over ready, couldn't we? Yeah. They could be getting all here ready.
yeah, well, as soon as we order it, we want the exact fitting details or footing details.
Yeah.
Footing detail.
Yeah. And do it like that. We've checked on various maps, it is definitely quite a way beyond where the adopted highway goes to, so it doesn't involve LCC, because that's quite a way below. So I can't see a problem with it. So all those in favour? Thank you.
Do we need a proposal in a second?
Go on then, who's going to move it and second it?
I'll move it.
Right, done.
Thought we'd already done that, right?
And I think that lets us close the meeting. Thank you all for attending.